Hi, this is Debbie Simpson with the Be Free Respect podcast. This is from the blog post Fragrance Illness, Some Brain Thoughts, as read from BeFreeRespect.com. The original written post was shared on May 28th, 2023. Before we begin, I want to remind you that I am not a brain specialist or brain rewiring expert. I am simply sharing my personal journey and my personal understanding as it makes sense to me. Fragrance illness and the brain. Some thoughts were just rolling through my head that had me deciding to just start clicking away on my computer. Let's see how this goes. Fragrance illness, fragrance sensitivity, environmental illness. I've suffered the physical, emotional, financial, and career impact that fragrance illness has had on my life for 20 years. While I can certainly regurgitate the highlights of the negative impact by sharing many details that I've allowed to remain on replay in my brain, I will refrain from doing so. I am working on letting the past remain in the past. My effort now is to strive for increased joy and a more able-bodied self. My biggest effort now is in healing. Healing. What an odd word to attach to an illness caused by chemicals that are toxic to everyone and to the planet. I know there's a struggle for many when I share that I'm working on brain rewiring in order not to have the reactions that have been increasingly more debilitating over the years. Healing. Yes, healing. No debate. There's no debating the issue that fragrance isn't a simple ingredient. There's no debating the fact that the toxic chemicals behind so many of our many fragrance products are unsafe for everyone. The effort to increase awareness and decrease toxic chemicals from our homes, classrooms, doctors' offices, and everywhere is one that needs to continue in a big way. But my inner question has been, why do I react the way I do? Why had the switch flipped in my body that caused me to smell chemicals, not fragrance? Why did my body and brain react in such a way that I felt so intensely miserable when around anyone who uses fragranced laundry products, air fresheners, scented lotion, deodorant, perfume, or cologne? Continued learning. I am so grateful for learning about DNRS and brain rewiring. I'm grateful for the journey this past 15 months has found me on. I'm grateful for learning that my reactions are due to a maladapted stress response in my limbic system. And I'm grateful for learning how to diminish that response. I shared more in my posts, Brain Rewiring Part 1, I Wasn't Ready, and Limbic System Impairment, My Understanding. Special note. There's a link to a free trial of the DNRS program in my post, Brain Rewiring Part 1. I am not an affiliate of the program. I'm just sharing something that is having a positive impact on my life. The brain is an organ. We often misinterpret a, quote, brain issue as an issue that is, quote, in the head. It can be confusing since, after all, the brain is in the head. But what does in your head imply? That it's made up. My reactions when triggered are certainly not made up. My reactions are not in my head. My reactions are in my brain. Diabetes is insufficient insulin being created by the pancreas. If the pancreas was located under our skull, would we blame people for having diabetes by saying it was in their head? Thyroid disease is too much or not enough thyroid hormone. If our thyroid was located in that space under our skulls, would we blame people for having Hashimoto's or Graves' disease by saying it's in their head? You get where I'm coming from. The limbic system is in the brain. My sensitivities are due to a limbic system impairment. And after a year of training, I now recognize what created my personal impairment to the point that it created a fragrance sensitivity. I let myself wonder sometimes. I sometimes let the wonder of what others might think get in my way. I wonder, sometimes, if after seeing my improvements and hearing that it is from brain retraining, if anyone in my life will now think to themselves, yep, I knew it was in her head, and poof, I need to let that thought go. I know it isn't in my head. My greatest desire is to heal myself. I don't have a need to prove anything to anyone. That interference distracts healing. I'm simply sharing that here because if you have that thought as well, you're not alone. My number one goal, however, is to get my life back. Short and sweet. I started writing just under an hour ago, and I think I got all the thoughts that I wanted to share out of my head. Or is it brain? Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed the reading of this blog post as read from BeFreeRespect.com. Check out the website for other blog posts. And start a joy and gratitude journal. Practice focus on the brighter moments of the day.